Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Justine if you guys are new here. In today's video we're doing a peach inspired makeup look. I'm currently doing this really fun series on my Instagram page where I'm doing looks inspired by fruit and different like fruity colors. It's so much fun. So today's look is peach. We are also trying out a brand new eyeshadow palette that I have not tried yet. I've never tried Colourpop in my entire life, so this will be a first for me. This is their Sweet Talk palette, and look at this. Have you ever seen anything that beautiful? These shades are so stunning. I have not tried these. I haven't even swatched these, and I've had this palette for such a long time. I've had this like I think since the beginning of the year, so it's been a while. I'm so excited to try this. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon for me, and let's get into today's tutorial. Not gonna lie to you guys, this whole video has been an absolute mess. I did a look on this eye and it turned out so badly, like honestly so bad. So I went ahead and came up with a look on this eye first before I show you guys what I'm gonna do here, because it was just a mess. It was not good. So I have obviously tried out the palette. Holy crap, there's a lot of fallout. Like, I have never in my entire life experienced this much fallout. My desk is full of eyeshadow. This, honestly, can you see over here? Like, I have made such a dent in this eyeshadow. It's insane, and I hardly use that much of the eyeshadow. Can you see that? So that is definitely one thing that I can already say about this palette. They are incredibly pigmented eyeshadows though. Like this one over here, holy crap, you need the tiniest amount and it blends out beautifully. These darker shades are also absolutely stunning, but I'll show you guys what it looks like when I do this look for you guys. Can you see, like, even on the lid here, that's also just like full of fallout. But you know what, I don't really mind that. Okay, do I? Yeah, okay, maybe I do mind it a little bit. It is a bit of a mess, especially when you have colorful eyeshadows. Like, I'm wearing a white top right now and I have eyeshadow over there. You probably can't see it, but like I can see it, and I just washed this top, so that's not so good. The first thing I did is I did my brows, and then I carved out my brows using the P. Louise base. This is in the shade 01, and then later we're going to use the shade 0, which is the white one, to carve out that crease. I'm using my Morphe M321 brush. This is just a lovely, like, detailed, small little fluffy brush, and yo, there's fallout everywhere. I'm gonna use the darker shade in the palette, which is called Feel Free, and it almost has like a brown undertone to it, like a red brown undertone with a bit of like purple in it as well. And what I'm gonna do with this is we're just gonna add it to the crease and just basically carving out sort of a shape that we want. This shade also just like really impresses me. I hardly dipped my brush in there. I used such a tiny amount and it just lays down nicely. It's not chalky at all. It's quite buttery, and the color payoff is absolutely incredible. Next, we're going to use the shade that has the most amount of fallout. This is the shade Dream Maker. It's actually quite hard to see the names when this is so like disco. I'm literally hardly going to dip in here and you'll see how much fallout comes out. Yo, that's a lot of fallout, guys, and watch this. It goes everywhere, but the shade is absolutely beautiful, so we're just going to work with it. So I'm just going to add this on top of that color that we just laid down. And again, this is the stuff I don't show on Instagram because it's just not flattering, but literally stretch your eye up all the way so that you can get all the way in there and just blend. Now, just taking a clean fluffy brush. I washed all of my brushes today, so I have so many like new deliciously clean brushes and beauty blenders. It's the best feeling ever. I'm dipping into that crazy shade that has all the fallout again, and I'm going to blend this out again. Now we're going to take our white P. Louise base. I always just put it on the back of my hand. You actually don't need that much of this one. It's really nice and thick and creamy, and the coverage is great. And then I'm using my P&A paintbrush to cut the crease. I'm just going to lay a bit of this onto the eyelid. Make sure that you cover it everywhere. And then I just very roughly like lay out the crease and what this is going to look like. Now I'm just going to take my time perfecting this cut crease so that it's nice and sharp, and we can lay our eyeshadows on top of it. I'm going to dip into this beautiful shade which is called Side to Side. Look at that. It's really gorgeous. It's quite crumbly though. You should be applying this with your finger, in my opinion, but I'm going to apply this with a little brush just because we have this detailed area over here, and obviously I can't apply like my fat ass finger on there. And this is such a weird like texture. Crazy. I'm just going to pat this down, and it's such a beautiful, it almost looks glossy. It looks like it's like wet. That's how beautiful and shiny it is. And then I went a tiny bit over the cut crease, which we just spent like our whole life trying to make perfect. So I take an angled liner brush. This is just from CALA. This is their brow liner brush 317, and I'm just picking up a tiny bit of that dark browny like red shade that we use in the beginning, and you just kind of go over it. So that's a trick if you do mess like outside of the lines. Next, I'm using my favorite shade in this palette, which is Catch Me. It's just this beautiful, just plain simple like peach nude color. I'm just gonna add that on top. Oh, I love this color. It's so beautiful. And this doesn't feel too powdery on the eyes, so that's also really good. Like I said in the beginning, it's quite like buttery and it goes on so easily. I'm gonna add that same shade to the outer section here as well. And this shade has nowhere near as much fallout as that shade that I showed you guys in the beginning. Look at the difference compared to that shade over there and that over there. So that has a little bit of fallout, which is completely fine, but that one over there is like nuts. Make sure that there is no creasing here. Just pat that down. And we are going to go ahead with Garden Date. And this is just a beautiful, like simple pressed shimmer. I'm using the same brush all the time, by the way. I just kind of dust all the product off to make sure that there's nothing left on the brush, and then I dip into the next shade. I don't have time to be switching brushes right now. Oh, look at that, it's so beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I feel like this would be so beautiful for a natural makeup look where you just use like this shade over here in the crease and blend it out nicely, and then just add a pop of shimmer in the center of the eye. I feel like this would be so beautiful for that. Dipping into Catch Me, the peach shade that we used before for like this outer corner here, and I'm just going to blend these two together just so that we don't have any harsh lines and just so that it looks a little bit more cohesive. Even though we do have a shimmer on the center of the eyelid, it's so beautiful, but I did want something to pop a little bit more, which is why I added one of these like chunky glitters on top. That's this shade over here. This one I am going to add with my finger, so it's like really chunky. It's obviously a very textured shimmer, but I quite like that. I like to have different textures in a palette. I think it's really nice to like mix and match, and this, I cannot wait to try this early morning. It's like more of a gold shade, and I think that's such a nice color to have in a palette like this. But let's go ahead and add this chunky glitter to the eye. Oh, that's so beautiful. I just feel like it adds a little bit of like dimension to the look. It was looking a little bit flat. Like pat it down to make sure it actually stays on. I'm just gonna blend out the sides. Not that that's really doing much, but it just makes me feel better. So again, I'm just taking my eyeliner brush and we're dipping into this darker shade over here that we used in the beginning. A little bit onto that brush, you don't want a lot. I'm just kind of starting from the outer corner of the eye, and then we just draw a little line outwards. And this doesn't have to be perfect, we are gonna clean it up. I'm taking the same brush that we've used throughout the whole tutorial, and I'm dipping into ICYMI, and it looks like that. So it's just like a deeper, like a bit of a darker, more red toned peach shade. I'm just gonna pat this on top of the liner that we've laid down and go a little bit above that liner, just so it looks a little bit smoky and doesn't look so harsh. Now just going in with more of that darker liner because we've kind of lost it a bit. And again, going to pat this on top. I'm taking a cotton bud and I just put a little bit of my micellar water on top of it like that. And we're going to clean this up. Also, this makes it a lot easier to see where your liner needs to be. It just kind of gives you a bit of a guide of where I want my eyeshadow to be. And now I know where I need to add a little bit more liner just so that it all like goes in the same direction. So I definitely want to add a little bit more of this dark liner over here. Wiping down my whole table as well because this is honestly a mess. Look how much eyeshadow is on this. Whew. Okay, now we can get onto the face, which is my favorite part. We are using the Crease Prime and Fine Pore Refining Anti-Shine Base. I'm gonna put a little bit of this onto basically the whole face. I'm using my Makeup Revolution Pore Blur and Prime Primer. And I like to use this product around like the nose and the center of the face, like over here. For foundation today, I'm using my NYX Total Drop Foundation. I used to hate this, guys, like literally hate this. I bought it and hardly ever used it. And I used it for a makeup look, I think it was like a week ago. And I tried it with a different primer. I moisturized my skin and it looked so beautiful. I'm just holding my hand here so that it doesn't go anywhere. The base of your makeup is just so so important, obviously, as we know, but I think I didn't know how important it was at that stage when I bought this. This was like quite a while ago. I'm just using my damp beauty blender just to pat this into the skin. For concealer, I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me. Set the face, today I'm just using my Yardley Absolute Translucent Loose Powder. So I just quickly went ahead and did some bronzer. Today I used my Anastasia Contour Kit, and then on top of that I used my favorite Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer on top. I feel like these two together are so beautiful. And now I just need to brush this powder that I have over here away, and then I'm going to go in with a bit of a mist on the face just so that the powders can settle into the face a little bit better. Today I'm actually just going to use the Switch Beauty Superhero Spray, and this is just their pink one. Oh, and I also did put soap in my brows, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that onto the skin. Oh, I just love adding this on top of powders. I have very dry skin, so this always feels so good when you get a bit of like moisture back into the skin. I'm just gonna add some Urban Decay Perversion Bigger Black Badder Mascara. I don't know what I want to use. Definitely not that boy, because that is so much freaking fallout. It's gonna mess up my whole bloody face. I'm gonna use Catch Me, which is that lighter shade over here. I'm gonna put this, honestly, wait, is there anything on this brush? I'm literally gonna put this everywhere, like all over the lower lash line, everywhere, and then I don't know, I'll figure out what other color I want to put on top of that. I think this is the part where a lot of people don't get to. When you do a makeup look, this happens to me all the time. I do so many like creative, like weird freaking makeup looks, and you start to doubt yourself throughout the process. Like you do one eye and you're like, oh, I don't like it, and then you start to do the other eye and then you give up. Don't ever give up. Keep going and keep going, because once you have both eyes done and they're looking somewhat like similar, pop your lashes on, put some bomb ass highlighter on, and I promise you it all ties in together. But you know what I mean, like keep going, don't be so hard on yourself. I promise you it does work out in the end. That's something that I've definitely learned with all of my makeup looks, is keep going. If you guys see my kiwi look, which I'll post here again, honestly I doubted myself so much throughout that whole look, and in the end it turned out. I'm so glad I kept going. So that's definitely one tip that I have for you guys. Just keep going, you can do it. All right, okay, I'm actually going to use a shade that we have not used, and this is the shade Meadow, and that is like a true peach color. Let's hope this one doesn't have as much fallout. Ooh, so much fallout again. Nah bruh, nah, look at that. Oh, there's so much fallout. What is up with these two shades? Anyway, yo, that eyeshadow is just coming off. But let's see what this looks like. It's just a little bit darker. Okay, that looks kind of pretty. Okay, I'm now going to put on some lashes. I have a brand new pair of my favorite lashes, and these are the style Ream from Pinky Goat Lashes. They're just really nice and wispy, perfect for a natural look, perfect for a crazy look. I wear these all the time, so I'm just going to trim these and pop these on. Oh, what you do? I don't think it doesn't like proof. I cannot explain to you how much I love these lashes. Please trust me and get yourselves these. I got them from Clicks. Oh, they're just so beautiful. I can't even deal. Okay, I'm actually gonna go ahead with this beautiful blush from Benefit. This is their California blush. It's this beautiful peachy shade, and we're doing a peachy look today, so peach it is. And I love their blushes. They're so good. I can't find my blush brush, so I'm gonna have to use this one. I'm gonna just add this. Oof, look at that color. It's so perfect for today's look. I'm just gonna add this around here. Guys, I feel like my bronzer has just disappeared. Like literally, I don't know where it's gone. So I'm actually gonna add a little bit more. It's so weird. I've never had this happen before. I'm using my Rach Loves Pixie highlighter palette, and I'm just gonna use the lighter shade, which is this one over here. I'm using one of my favorite brushes for highlighter. This is the Real Technique setting brush. It should be used for like places like this, but I love this for highlighter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit. I don't want too much of a highlightery vibe today. Ooh, that's really nice. It's like a really natural kind of glow. I'm just blending this out a little bit, just like makes the look a little bit nicer. It kind of was like eyeshadow on top of like the face base, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to like blend everything together. And then last thing we have to do is lips, and I'm going to use my Essence Soft Contouring Lip Liner in 07 Lost in Love. I use this literally all the time. It's such a great color lip liner. It just goes with literally pretty much anything. And then I'm using this gorgeous gloss, which is from Love, and it's their Caring Volume Gloss, and this is in the shade, is their shade on here, It's number 130 Seductive Flamingo. All right, I hear you, I see you. And it's so peachy. It's a perfect color for today. And this is the Gerard Cosmetics Setting Spray in Rose. Just to kind of set that all in so that it lasts longer. Not that I'm going anywhere, I'm just going to take this makeup off and go straight to bed, but you know what I mean. And that is our peachy makeup look done. I love how it turned out. I'm really impressed with these eyeshadows, guys. I know I was saying the whole time like how bad the kickback is in the pan. Listen, like it is a lot. I didn't expect that much. I've never seen anything quite like it. I've never seen so much fallout in my life, and it kind of feels like I've ruined the palette. It looked so beautiful before, but you can see like I've taken some serious chunks out of these eyeshadows, but that's fine. I feel like they are really pigmented. They are so beautiful. I think all of these shades are stunning. I can get a lot of use out of these. I feel like there are definitely some everyday shades. That's something I always look for in a palette, is like an everyday shade like this. So all in all, I'll say I'm really impressed with the eyeshadows themselves. They blend out beautifully. I mean, I tried to use almost every single shade. I will say this shade over here, Side to Side, which we have in the inner corner, which is so beautiful and so bright, it's really hard to apply that with a brush. So if you're doing a detailed look or something as fiddly as a look that we did today, it's kind of hard because that should be applied with a finger to really get the full effect of it. But other than that, I think it's a beautiful palette. I love the colors so much, so I'm really impressed with it. I really like it. That is it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. It honestly means the world to have all of you guys support, so thank you so much for watching. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon for me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.